The person accused of killing 5 people at Club Q in Colorado Springs was charged today. The suspect charged with 305 counts, including murder and hate crimes for the shooting 2 weeks ago. And that 305 number appears to be the most filed in a mass shooting case in state history.
Denver 7's Patrick Perez was at today's court appearance and has a reaction from prosecutors.
The state filed a total of 305 formal charges against Anderson Aldridge. That could change as prosecutors learn of more victims. The DA here says he wants the public to know he is taking this case very seriously. No longer shielding their once beaten and bruised face, the Club Q shooting suspect appeared in court Tuesday morning and heard the charges. 305 counts in total, the most filed in a mass shooting case in Colorado.
When you file 305 counts in a case, that tells the public, this community, this state, and this nation that we are taking this case as serious as we possibly can.
They include multiple counts of murder, attempted murder, and bias-motivated crimes for what happened the night of November 20th in Colorado Springs.
We're not going to tolerate actions against community members based on their sexual identity, those types of things. Members of that community have been harassed, intimidated, and abused for too long. That's not going to occur in the 4th Judicial District.
If convicted, just on the murder charges alone, the suspect could spend life in prison without parole.
They will serve the remainder of their life in prison without breathing free air again.
But it may be a while before the families of the 5 people killed in the mass shooting and those injured get justice.
We have a lot of obligations already, both of us, that are going to make it difficult to get something scheduled in early spring.
The defense already signaled it hasn't yet received much of the evidence it needs to make its case.
We are not going to be ready. We will not be effective on that date.
As the state warns about another high-profile murder trial beginning in March against Letitia Stauch, accused of killing her stepson Gannon.
I would be surprised if we get to an actual jury trial sometime in 2023. I suspect it'll be sometime later than that. But again, that's fluid and not necessarily up to the prosecution.
The judge has also chosen to unseal the arrest affidavit in this case, which may provide more information about what happened. We are expecting to get our hands on that Wednesday afternoon. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for February. In Colorado Springs, I'm Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
In a statement, one of the owners of Club Q says these charges confirm what he already knew, that this was a targeted hate crime. Matthew Haynes says, quote, "The tragedy at Club Q shows that words matter and that words have real-world consequences. We continue to call out those who spread disgusting rhetoric and encourage violence against the LGBTQ community."
Let's provide more insight on how hate crimes are prosecuted in Colorado. I spoke to Boulder County District Attorney Michael Dougherty today, and he says Colorado's hate crime law recently changed. Now, previously, prosecutors had to prove a suspect's intent was solely motivated by hate. Now, bias motivation only needs to be part of the offender's motivation.
The district attorneys came together because we recognized that to do a better job for hate crime victims and working closely with the Anti-Defamation League and others, recognizing that when it comes to proving an individual is engaged in a hate crime, that often it's more complicated and it can be due to a number of different motives, not just one particular issue or one particular thing that we could prove.
He says prosecutors can use court-approved warrants to search a suspect's electronic devices and social media history to get a better understanding of what their motive was before they committed a bias-motivated crime, as well as statements they make after an attack is committed.
Now, the Colorado Healing Fund says 100% of donations will go directly to victims of the Club Q shooting. Now, the Healing Fund received some criticism because a small percentage of donations were taken in to cover administrative costs. They say they now have secured support to underwrite those administrative fees. Club Q is still taking donations to support the staff who are out of work. You can find out how to help on Denver7.com.